England need to decide. I'm not talking about the EU referendum. I'm talking about them deciding. Are you favourites, a team who should be tucked amongst one of the bigger nations in Europe to really compete for this competition? Or are you one of the guys who people don't even really consider to really be in the conversation? If your answer is point A, you should be considered as one of the heavyweights of football. It's embarrassing, shocking, and unacceptable that you were unable to beat a horrible Russia team and were unable to beat Slovakia. So you can't say, oh no, you played well, you had chances. No. To not beat Slovakia or Russia is unacceptable. It's a failure. It's horrible. It is a disaster. And to come second in this group behind Wales, it's a disaster. That's if you're going for point A. If you're going for point B, you should not even be considered amongst heavyweight footballing nations. Then you can say they were unlucky. You were very unlucky against Russia, should have beaten Russia. Very unlucky against Slovakia, pretty much dominated the game, had the best kinds of chances, but again, you were unlucky. So England fans have to decide. Because in my view, England are not in the conversation of one of the heavyweight nations for this competition. They're not, and they've not been for a very long time. Are they dark horses? After the results they did, no, they're not dark horses. There are too many teams who are better and deserve that title for dark horses. So if you accept that England should not really be in the conversation as one of the teams who could possibly win this, then this shouldn't really be that much of a surprise. But looking at the game, for England, again, that's why I gave the A or B. Have to decide that if you're serious about winning this competition, this isn't like trying to grow and trying to build. If you're serious about winning it for this year, you've got to put away the chances. You've got to create better chances, and you've got to put them away. So looking against Slovakia is like, Slovakia are an okay team. They're an okay team. They're not great. They're not rubbish. They ain't great. They're an okay team. So to not be able to create a quality chance to defeat them, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. So, and for me, I think even when I saw the lineup, but got to still give props to Slovakia, man. They defended very well. They were very organized, and they had some good counters. They had some good opportunities. So the danger of this is that Slovakia didn't just come with like 10 men behind the ball. They came to play. Yes, they defended when they needed to defend, but they really came to play, and they gave England opportunities, and they gave them space. So England can't use the excuse of like, man, they defended too deep. Well, what can we do? They didn't pack any bosses there. But Slovakia, they had some good chances, and Hamsik again doing his thing in the middle, pulling the strings. But for England, it's like, you can't. Same thing that France did with Didier Deschamps. You have to stick with your team. And maybe it was arrogance. Maybe Hodgson's arrogance said, oh no, we don't need a stronger team. We'll be able to beat Slovakia with, a semi-strong team. Arrogance. And you brought them on, and they were not able to change the game. Stick with your team with all 3 games, and stick with that team throughout the entire tournament, so you create a rapport and a consistency through every single game. You don't need to chop and change. So yeah, look, I mean, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Disaster that England did not top. This was a very tough group. And you think of it of Wales, Slovakia, and the group. Obviously, you think, okay, Russia, maybe a team that can do something. But this is Russia. Have been one of the worst teams in these Euros. Slacked by Wales 3-0. Slovakia, come on, they're not a nation. Wales, first major tournament in 50, 60 years. So for England, very, very disappointing. Who to blame? Hodgson has to take some of the blame. Why didn't you stick with the same formation you stuck with for those other 2 games? Players as well have to take some blame of put the chance away, create the better chance, be much more decisive and incisive in your build-up play and within the pass that you make to your man. Didn't do it, and now, I mean, looking at the permutations of who they can play in the next round, it's not too bad because everything's a bit confusing. But I think England could possibly face Hungary in the next, because I think they face the runner-up of Group F, so it could be a Hungary that they face if Portugal get it done. So for England, they actually are pretty lucky based on being in Group B, but just with what has happened, got to put away. If you're serious about winning this, you've got to put away those chances, man. You have to put those things away. Just have to. Sorry.